And welcome to the transcription explanation of this design. So this design uses a bunch of dot modifiers, which are all of these dots here, and they're all part of these letters here. So to figure out which of these columns a letter is in, you figure out how many dots are closest to it. So that's what all those dots are. And then these swirly lines are the line modifiers, and they count when they end on a letter stem. And they can also count for multiple letters and even loop back onto the same letter. So we have line modifiers here, and then we have letter stems, which are divots on the word circle, or are completed circles inside the word circle. And there's also circles on the line of the word circle, but there's none of these letters in this design, so we're not going to worry about that. So you read the script starting at the bottom and then going counterclockwise, like a time traveler going back in time. And that is what is noted here in the reading order. So for each of these words, you start at the bottom and go counterclockwise. And then there's this start here in orientation marker. This is not necessary if you have a design that always follows that basic rule of starting at the bottom and going counterclockwise, which this design does. So let's go ahead and start reading it. So here's the first letter of our first word. There is a deep divot here, and there are some dots by it. And these dots are kind of between this letter and this letter, but this letter has 1, 2, 3 lines on it, and there's no letters with both lines and dots. So these dots all have to go with this first deep divot. So we're in the 3-dot column, and we're in the deep divot row. That makes it the letter D. And then we have this open circle. That's a vowel, and that is right inside the mouth of that D, like this, inside that consonant stem. And if we follow that red one down, that makes it the letter E. Vowels are these little guys. They're kind of like dots, but with an open middle. So DE, then we have this shallow divot, and this shallow divot has those 2 lines ending on it, plus this sneaky third one here. So that makes it on the 3-line column and in the shallow divot row. And then this line passes through it. It doesn't end on it, so it doesn't count. Lines only count when they end on a letter stem. And that ends on the vowel. This vowel has that one line going towards the middle. So like this green one going inwards towards the center of the word. So that makes it the letter I. Then we have a shallow divot with 1, 2, 3 dots. So same column as the D, but it's a shallow divot instead of a deep divot. So that makes it an R. And then we have the E inside it, just like that one there. So that would be D-E-S-I-R-E. Oh, and we have all of these vowels enclosed inside our consonants, and consonants are read before the vowels, so that's why it's D-E-S-I and then R-E, not E-D, or so on and so forth. So that is the word desire. And then we have this word. It starts with a deep divot, just like before, and there are some dots kind of near it, but these 3 dots are closer to this circle inside the word circle than this one. So those 4 dots go here, not here. And that means this has no dots and no lines, because this line passes clean through it and doesn't end on it, so it doesn't count. So that makes it the letter B. And then we have an E, just like that E. And now we have this letter stack. So we're going to need our letter stacking rules. There's a thin line with 4 dots. There's a thick line, which if we count them up, we have 1. This one passes through, 2, 3. All 3 of these thick curvy lines end on it. And then we have this vowel, which has a slash through it. So let's look at our rules. So we have consonants are read thin to thick. So we have the thin line first. So 4 dots on the thin one makes it a C. Then we have the thick one with 3 lines, that would be an M. So we have the C before the M. And then we have this vowel with a slash through it. So because it's a vowel, it would normally be read after this. So that would normally be a C-M-O. But because this has a slash through it, we bring it up 1 letter in the stack. So each slash through a vowel moves it up 1 letter in the stack. So that would be C-O-M instead of C-M-O. So C-O-M. And that's correct because we want it to be B-E-C-O-M. Here's the E, and then here's the S with 1, 2, 3 lines, just like this S with 3 lines. So that's the word becomes. Letter stacking is tricky. And then we have S, 1, 2, 3 lines on the S, a U, line radiating outwards, a double letter. So this is another stack, except they're the same thickness. So same thickness is same letter. So even though we only have 3 dots total, closest to this one, they are the same letter. We don't need 6 dots because we can tell that they're the same letter because it's got the same thickness. So that would be the double R. Oh, and in this big old dot chain, we have these 3 dots closest here to this one, these 1, 2, 3 dots closest here, these 4 dots closest here and these 3 dots closest here, with these 4 dots here and those 3 dots there. So it's a whole bunch of dots from a whole bunch of letters that I managed to line up, and these are both the dots in surrender, which has lots of dots, as we'll see. So that's the double R, E, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 dots on a deep divot. So deep divot, 4 dots is an ND. This helps save space. So that would be an ND. Here's another E, and then 3 dots on this R. So SU, double R, E, ND, E, R. So surrender. And then we have kind of in our next phrase, so this is in the swirly down phrase, and this is in the swirly up phrase. There's no official paragraph space marker. You can indicate that by just having the flow of your design kind of indicate it. And I wanted the flow of this design to kind of break between this phrase and that phrase. So here we have surrender again. 1, 2, 3 lines on the S. There's the U line going outwards. Here's a double R, just like that, double R, E, ND with 1, 2, 3, 4 dots, E inside the ND, unlike this E, which is outside the ND. So an E can be on the line of the word circle or inside the center of a consonant. So this one's inside the consonant, not on the word circle, because there wasn't enough room, and I wanted all my dots in a line. So ND, E, and then our R with 3 dots at the end there. So that would be surrender again. And then we have another becomes. B, E, just like that, B, E. Then we have another stack. We have the same kind of stack here. We have the C with the 4 dots, the O with the slash, and the M with the 3 lines. The lines are just different and the dots are just different. 3 lines, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. E on the line of the word circle, and then this S has 1, this sneaky line here, and then 3 here. So 1, 2, 3. So B-E-C-O-M-E-S becomes, and then our very last word, we have 1, 2 lines on the circle inside the word circle, making it a P, and O attached to it like a bead on a string. Yes, this O can go anywhere around the ring of this circle. It doesn't have to be towards the middle. It's anywhere on the line. So that would be an O. And then we have a shallow divot here. So we're in this row. And there's these 1, 2 lines ending on it. Yes, this is the same arc that ends here and here, so that counts twice. So even though it's just 1 line, it's actually counting as 2 lines because it ends twice on this column. So 1, 2 lines makes that a W. E on the line of the word circle, just like that E, and then another R with 3 dots. That'd be P-O-W-E-R. The only decorative bit on this design that is not part of the translation is this little mark here. That's because I wanted this to line up with that. This could go away, and that would not affect the translation. Absolutely every single other dot in line is needed for the translation, except this one. So make sure your tattoo artist knows that you need all the dots, you need all the lines, and I recommend you playing through this video at the end of your tattoo, so that way you can get a spell check of this design, and you can go through and like, oh, yep, are there actually 4 dots here instead of just 3? Do you have this sneaky little dot on the line of the word circle? Did we lose, I don't know, did we make sure that this line ends here on the M instead of on the C? And then that kind of stuff, because word lines end matters, and the number of dots matter. So super, super, super precise, but hopefully this video helps explain it, and it'll also function as a spell check at the end of your tattoo. I hope you like it. Bye.